Joining us now is Dr. Helen Yaffe, who's senior lecturer at Glasgow University and an expert on Cuba. Dr. Yaffe, if this family code is voted through in the referendum, how big a change will it represent for Cuba?
Well, I think it's going to be very significant. It will be one of the most progressive laws in terms of, diversity and recognizing different forms of family and family rights certainly in Latin America and among the world. So it will be a very important step. I think it's really interesting that they could have decided to just endorse these measures in law, just announce new laws, and have those laws on paper. But what the referendum is really about is about taking the whole of society through an educational process and a cultural change, because you really need those rights to be accepted by the whole of society. And that's what it's about in the referendum.
And that's involved what, real and profound discussions within households?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is a topic that's been, raging debates in every household. In fact, there have been 80,000, popular assemblies where people have discussed this. 8.5 million Cubans have participated in discussions and debates. And in fact, 50% of the original draft proposal has been changed in the light of these comments. I think we're on something like the 25th draft of the family code following up from these discussions.
So this is a real exercise in democracy, which I guess might surprise some people in a communist country like Cuba.
Yes, except that they have had these processes about economic reforms, about the retirement age, about a whole set of issues that actually Cubans are really good at discussing and making sure that the population is on board with.
And what about the issue, or one of the issues, the key issue here, gay rights? How controversial is it in Cuba?
Well, there was discrimination in the early period. It was still, when the Cuban Revolution happened, illegal in Britain and many countries around the world. But it's really since the 1990s that the issue has been tackled. And one of the key organizations in doing that has been the Center for Sexual Education, known as CENISEX, which is led by Mariela Castro, the daughter of Raul Castro, and they have done a marvelous job actually in making the issue of gay rights and different gender identities and so on an issue of social justice and also health justice, which the Cubans are very proud of, their extensive health system. So they've sort of managed to get it through in that way. And there has been massive improvement. But of course, prejudice at the individual level is something that's much harder to tackle.
And briefly, I mean, is there a chance that because of political views rather than views about the issue that this might not get through?
I think there's a very small chance. I mean, we don't know. The economic situation is very bad and the churches have been vociferously and openly organising. I think, however, I would expect it to get voted through. But even if it hasn't, the process of this debate has been very healthy for Cuban society.
Well, very interesting stuff. Dr. Helen Yaffe, thanks very much.